Alicante, or Alicante, both the Valencian and Spanish being official names, is a city and port in Spain on the Costa Blanca, the capital of the province of Alicante and of the comarca of Alicante, in the south of the Valencian community. It is also a historic Mediterranean port. The population of the city of Alicante proper was 332,067, estimated as of 2014 update, ranking as the second largest Valencian city, including nearby municipalities. The Alicante conurbation had 452,462 residents. The population of the metropolitan area was 757,085 as of 2014 update estimates, ranking as the 8th largest metropolitan area of Spain. Naming. The name of the city echoes the Arabic name Laquant or Al-Laquant, which in turn reflects the Latin Lucentum. History. The area around Alicante has been inhabited for over 7,000 years. The first tribes of hunter-gatherers moved down gradually from Central Europe between 5000 and 3000 BC. Some of the earliest settlements were made on the slopes of Mount Benacancil. By 1000 BC, Greek and Phoenician traders had begun to visit the eastern coast of Spain, establishing small trading ports and introducing the native Iberian tribes to the alphabet, iron and the pottery wheel. By the 3rd century BC, the rival armies of Carthage and Rome began to invade and fight for control of the Iberian Peninsula. The Carthaginian general Hamilcar Barca established the fortified settlement of Acre Luca, where Alicante stands today. Although the Carthaginians conquered much of the land around Alicante, the Romans would eventually rule Hispania Tarraconensis for over 700 years. By the 5th century AD, Rome was in decline and the Roman predecessor town of Alicante, known as Lucentum, was more or less under the control of the Visigothic warlord Theudemir. However, neither the Romans nor the Goths put up much resistance to the Arab conquest of Medina Laquant in the 8th century. The Moors ruled southern and eastern Spain until the 13th century Reconquista. Alicante was finally taken in 1246 by the Castilian king Alfonso X, but it passed soon and definitively to the Kingdom of Valencia in 1298 with King James II of Aragon. It gained the status of royal village with representation in the medieval Valencian parliament. After several decades of being the battlefield where the Kingdom of Castile and the Crown of Aragon clashed, Alicante became a major Mediterranean trading station exporting rice, wine, olive oil, oranges and wool. But between 1609 and 1614 King Felipe III expelled thousands of Moriscos who had remained in Valencia after the Reconquista, due to their cooperation with Barbary pirates who continually attacked coastal cities and caused much harm to trade. This act cost the region dearly, with so many skilled artisans and agricultural laborers gone. The feudal nobility found itself sliding into bankruptcy. Things got worse in the early 18th century. After the War of Spanish Succession, Alicante went into a long, slow decline, surviving through the 18th and 19th centuries by making shoes and growing agricultural produce such as oranges and almonds, and thanks to its fisheries. The end of the 19th century witnessed a sharp recovery of the local economy with increasing international trade and the growth of the city harbour, leading to increased exports of several products. During the early 20th century, Alicante was a minor capital that enjoyed the benefit of Spain's neutrality during World War I, and that provided new opportunities for the local industry and agriculture. The Rif War in the 1920s saw numerous Alicantinos drafted to fight in the long and bloody campaigns in the former Spanish protectorate against the Rif rebels. The political unrest of the late 1920s led to the victory of Republican candidates in local council elections throughout the country, and the abdication of King Alfonso XIII. The proclamation of the Second Spanish Republic was much celebrated in the city on 14 April 1931. The Spanish Civil War broke out on 17 July 1936. Alicante was the last city loyal to the Republican government to be occupied by dictator Franco's troops on 1 April 1939, and its harbour saw the last Republican government officials fleeing the country. Vicious air bombings were targeted on Alicante during the 3 years of civil conflict, most notably the bombing by the Italian Aviation Legionnaire of the Mercado de Abastos in 25 May 1938, in which more than 300 civilians perished. The next 20 years under Franco's dictatorship were difficult for Alicante, as they were for the entire country. However, the late 1950s and early 1960s saw the onset of a lasting transformation of the city by the tourist industry. Large buildings and complexes rose in nearby Albufeira and Playa de San Juan, with the benign climate being the biggest draw to attract prospective buyers and tourists who kept the hotels reasonably busy. New construction benefited the whole economy, as the development of the tourism sector also spawned new businesses such as restaurants, bars and other tourist-oriented enterprises. Also, the old airfield at Rabasa was closed and air traffic moved to the new El Altet airport, which made a more convenient and modern facility for charter flights bringing tourists from northern European countries. When dictator Franco died in 1975, his successor Juan Carlos I played his part as the living symbol of the transition of Spain to a democratic constitutional monarchy. The governments of regional communities were given constitutional status as nationalities, and their governments were given more autonomy, including that of the Valencian region, the Generalitat Valenciana. The port of Alicante has been reinventing itself since the industrial decline the city suffered in the 1980s. In recent years, the Port Authority has established it as one of the most important ports in Spain for cruisers, with 72 calls to port made by cruise ships in 2007 bringing some 80,000 passengers and 30,000 crew to the city each year. The moves to develop the port for more tourism have been welcomed by the city and its residents, but the latest plans to develop an industrial estate in the port have caused great controversy. Economy. Until the global recession which started in 2008, Alicante was one of the fastest growing cities in Spain. The boom depended partly on tourism directed to the beaches of the Costa Blanca and particularly on the second residence construction boom which started in the 1960s and revived again by the late 1990s. Services and public administration also play a major role in the city's economy. The construction boom has raised many environmental concerns and both the local autonomous government and city council are under scrutiny by the European Union. The construction surge was the subject of hot debates among politicians and citizens alike. The latest of many public battles concerns the plans of the Port Authority of Alicante to construct an industrial estate on reclaimed land in front of the city's coastal strip, in breach of local, national and European regulations. The city serves as the headquarters of the European Union's Office for Harmonization in the Internal Market and a sizable population of European public workers live there. The campus of the University of Alicante lies in San Vicente del Raspe, bordering the city of Alicante to the north. More than 27,000 students attend the university. Since 2005, Ciudad de la Luz, one of the largest film studios in Europe, has had its base in Alicante. The studio has shot Spanish and international movies such as Asterix at the Olympic Games by Frederic Forstier and Thomas Langman, Manolete by Menno Mayes. Population. The official population of Alicante in 2014 was 332,067 inhabitants and 757,085 in the metropolitan area, Alicante-Elche. About 15% of the population is foreign, most of them immigrants from Argentina, Ecuador, United Kingdom and Colombia who have arrived in the previous 20 years. There are also immigrants from other countries such as Germany, Romania, Russia, Algeria, Ukraine, Morocco and Italy, many of whom coming outside the EU are under illegal alien status and therefore are not accounted for in official population figures. The real percentage of foreign residents is higher, since the Alicante metropolitan area is home to many Northern European retirees who are officially still residents of their own countries. In the same pattern, a sizable number of permanent residents are Spanish nationals who officially still live in Madrid, the Basque provinces, or other areas of the country. Government. Gabriel Echevarri is the mayor of the city. He was elected for the post on June 13, 2015, following the municipal elections on May 24, 2015. He was supported by the votes from his own group, plus those from leftist parties Guanyar Alicante and Compromise, as well as from centre-right party Ciudadanos. The People's Party, with only 8 elected seats, lost the majority. In the previous municipal elections of May 2011, Sonia Castedo of People's Party won the elections with an absolute majority, but resigned in December 2014 due to her involvement in several corruption scandals, at present being under investigation. Her fellow party member Miguel Valle went on to become mayor up until Echevarri's election. At the foot of the main staircase of the City Hall building is the 0 point, used as the point of reference for measuring the height above or below sea level of any point in Spain. Due to the marginal tidal variations of the Mediterranean Sea in Alicante. Climate. Alicante enjoys mild winter temperatures, hot summers and little rain, concentrated in equinoctial periods. Scientists tend to classify the climate of Alicante region according to Köppen climate classification as hot semi-arid. On average the temperature ranges between 17.0 degrees Celsius and 6.5 degrees Celsius in January, and between 30.8 degrees Celsius and 21.5 degrees Celsius in August, with an average annual temperature of 18.3 degrees Celsius. Daily variations in temperature are generally small because of the stabilizing influence of the sea, although occasional periods of westerly wind can produce temperature changes of 15 degrees Celsius or more. Seasonal variations in temperature are also relatively small, meaning that winters are mild and summers are hot. The average rainfall is 311 mm per year. The cold drop means that September and October are the wettest months. Rainfall can be torrential, reaching over 200 mm in a 24-hour period, leading to severe flooding. Because of this irregularity, only 35 rainy days are observed on average per year, and the annual number of sunshine hours is 2,953. The record maximum temperature of 41.4 degrees Celsius was observed on 4 July 1994. The record minimum temperature of -3.8 degrees Celsius was recorded on 26 December 1970. The worst flooding in modern history occurred on 30 September 1997 when 270.2 mm of rain fell within 6 hours. Temperatures under 1 degree Celsius are very rare. Snow is unknown since 1926. Transport. It is connected with Madrid and Barcelona by frequent Iberia and Vueling flights, and with many Western European cities through carriers such as Ryanair, EasyJet, Air Berlin, Monarch Airlines, and Jet2.com. There are also regular flights to Algeria and Russia. Alicante railway station is used by Cercanías linking Alicante with suburbs and Murcia. Long-range Renfe trains run frequently to Madrid, Barcelona, and Valencia. Alicante tram connects the city with outlying settlements along Costa Blanca. As of 2011, electric tram trains run up to Benidorm, and diesel trains go further to Dania. The city has regular ferry services to the Balearic Islands and Algeria. The city is strongly fortified, with a spacious harbour. Main sites. Amongst the most notable features of the city are the Castle of Santa Barbara, which sits high above the city, and the port of Alicante. The latter was the subject of bitter controversy in 2006-2007 as residents battled, successfully, to keep it from being changed into an industrial estate. The Santa Barbara Castle is situated on Mount Benacancil, overlooking the city. The tower at the top is the oldest part of the castle, while part of the lowest zone and the walls were constructed later in the 18th century. The Promenade Esplanada de España, lined by palm trees, is paved with 6.5 million marble floor tiles creating a wavy form and is one of the most lovely promenades in Spain. The promenade extends from the port of Alicante to the Gran Via and ends at the famous statue of Mark Hirsch. For the people of Alicante, the promenade is the meeting place for the traditional Spanish paseo, or stroll along the waterfront in the evenings, and a venue for outdoor musical concerts. At the end of the promenade is a monument by the artist Banols of the 19th century. Barrio de la Santa Cruz is a colorful quarter of the Old City, situated on the southwest of Santa Barbara Castle. Its small houses climb up the hill leading to the walls and the castle, through narrow streets decorated with flags and tubs of flowers. Lorita Park is situated on the foothills of Mount Benacancil, on the way to the castle. It runs from the Santa Barbara Castle down to the old part of Alicante and consists of several levels, routes, decks and rest stops which offer a panoramic view overlooking the city. El Palmeral Park is one of the favorite parks of Alicante's citizens. It includes walking trails, children's playgrounds, ponds and brooks, picnic tables and an auditorium for concerts. Just a few kilometers from Alicante on the Mediterranean Sea lies Tabacar Island. What was once a haven for Barbary pirates is now a beautiful tourist attraction. Other sites include Basilica of Santa Maria, built in Gothic style over the former main mosque. Other features include the high altar, in Rococo style, and the portal, in Baroque style, both from the 18th century. Co-Cathedral of St. Nicholas of Bari, also built over a mosque. It is the main church of Alicante and the bishop's seat. Monastery of Santa Faz, located 5 kilometers outside the city, in Baroque style. Defense towers of the Huerta de Alicante, built to defend against the Barbary pirates. Today some 20 towers are still extant. Baroque Casa de la Asegurada, the most ancient civil building in the city. Today it is home to the Museum of Contemporary Art of Alicante. Casa Consistorial de Alicante, also in Baroque style. Convent of the Canonigas de San Agustín. Gravina Palace, nowadays hosting Gravina Museum of Fine Arts. Castle of San Fernando. There are a dozen museums in Alicante. On exhibition at the Archaeological Museum of Alicante are local artifacts dating from 100,000 years ago till the early 20th century. The collection is divided into different rooms representing 3 divisions of archaeological methodology: ground, urban and underwater archaeology, with dioramas, audiovisual and interactive zones. The Archaeological Museum won the European Museum of the Year award in 2004. Gravina Museum of Fine Arts presents a number of paintings and sculptures from the 16th century to 19th century. Asegurada Museum of Contemporary Art houses a major collection of 20th century art, composed mainly of works donated by Eusebio Sempera. Festivals. The most important festival, the Bonfires of St. John, takes place during the summer solstice. This is followed a week later by 7 nights of firework and pyrotechnic contests between companies on the urban beach Playa del Postigue. Another well-known festival is Morosi Christians in Altozano or San Blas district. Overall, the city boasts a year-round nightlife for the enjoyment of tourists, residents, and a large student population of the University of Alicante. The nightlife social scene tends to shift to nearby Playa de San Juan during the summer months. Every summer in Alicante, a 2-month-long program of music, theater and dance is staged in the Paseo del Puerto. Sport. The 2 established Alicante football teams are Equals CF, which competes in the Spanish Segunda División B, and Alicante CF, which plays in Tercera División. Recently the team has disappeared for economics problems. Equals CF is more known because he played in the first league in Spain and had many players very popular as David Trezeguet, Royston Drenthe and Edo Valvez. Also is known because thanks to him Real Madrid won a league. Nowadays host their home games at Estadio José Rico Pérez. Alicante CF plays at Campo Municipal de Villafranqueza. Basketball club Lucentum Alicante participates in the Spanish Basketball League. It plays at the Centro de Tecnificación de Alicante. Alicante serves as headquarters and the starting point of Volvo Ocean Race, a yacht race around the world. The latest race sailed in October 2014. Notable residents: George Washington Montgomery, born in Alicante, United States, diplomat and editor, publisher of the first Spanish-language translation of the works of Washington Irving. Carlos Arniches, novelist. Rafael Altamira y Crevi, co-founder of Permanent Court of International Justice, so-called the World Court, after 1945 International Court of Justice. Francisco Javier de Barmas, physician who headed the Barmas expedition to vaccinate the Spanish colony's population against smallpox. Manuel Senentacalist, publisher and politician. Gabriel Miro, novelist. Antonio Gades, flamenco dancer. Juan Ascari, field hockey player. Belén Rueda, actress. David Ferrer, tennis player. Miriam Blasco, judoka Olympic winner. Isabel Fernandez, judoka Olympic winner. Esther Canadas, model and actress. Pedro Ferrandiz, basketball coach. Francisco Rufete, footballer. Miguel Hernandez, poet. Ricardo Lorca, composer. Kiko Martínez, boxer. Jose Peramon, handball player. Nahima, extreme metal band. International relations. Twin towns, sister cities. Alicante is twinned with. In 2009 a bid was made to twin Newcastle, United Kingdom with Alicante.